Hello and welcome to the Nightly Met. Tonight we start off with the stars of Always, Patsy Cline at BDT Stage, Norrell Moore and Alicia K. Meyers. Hello.
Hello.
How are you, ladies?
Great, thanks. How are you?
So wonderful.
Good.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. So I saw the show the other night and I loved it. It was just such a fun show and it was so well done. I mean, both you ladies, and I mean, you just killed it as Patsy the whole entire time.
Thank you.
And we walked out. I've been listening to like Patsy Cline music for like the last week now.
Yeah. You want to keep it going.
Yeah, I want to keep the show. The show was so good, I never wanted to stop. I wanted to stay there the whole
Always.
night. Yeah, the always is for the time. No, but talk about the show. So tell us a little bit what it is, who you guys play in the show.
Sure.
I play Louise Seeger, who is an actual true live fan of Patsy Cline. They kind of have this quick rendezvous for a 24-hour period, and it's one of those connections where you meet that person and you just connect immediately. It's kind of interesting because we actually have two very separate shows. Norrell has her show as Patsy Cline, and I have my show as Louise. And for a quick second, they kind of rendezvous, and in that quick second, we become tight, fast and furious.
friends,
Yeah, it's really great.
And talk about playing Patsy.
It's been such a joy. I mean, to learn her style of singing, I just put her on repeat. And, you want to, give this homage to this woman who had such this fast and beautiful career that was cut so short. And she was such a talent. And I just want to do her justice. And so, we even say in the show, it was 6 years from the time she was on TV on the Arthur Godfrey show to the time of her death when she was 30 years old. So to take off that fast in, music, then and even today,
Sure. Yeah.
is pretty spectacular. So I have loved seeing all of the patrons at the end of the night. I've actually been coming out and saying hello to people because I know this means so much to them. That generation of people, it's bringing back so many memories and really filling their hearts. So
It's a very cool feeling to sit, and as Louise, I get to sit and watch her every night, and then to be able to hear everybody in the audience just singing along. It's such a cool, unique experience.
It's magical.
Yeah, it really
is.
is.
It really is.
And you touched on, this is the music of the older generation, but I would say even younger audiences really connect with the show because
People still know
you still know
Crazy
these songs.
and
it's like, oh, that's
She's
you
a
might not
classic.
know that she sung that song, but you know those songs.
Absolutely.
And I think you mentioned to me one time like this was kind of the music you grew up with and you listened to a lot when you were young.
I'm actually from West Virginia. I was born in West Virginia. She was born and raised in Winchester, Virginia, where my brother was actually born. And so I've got that connection. My parents they're a little country, I'm from the country, I'm from a very small town. I grew up in an hour south of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and so these are my roots, you know.
Ironically, I'm from Houston, which is where Louise is from.
Yep.
I mean,
So it was destiny.
it is
to play these roles.
absolutely.
And now you co-directed the show
Yes,
with
yeah.
Michael Duran.
Sure
This is a very popular show in Colorado, ran at the Denver Center
Absolutely.
for 4.5 years, I
Yes,
believe.
yes.
So talk about getting to direct the show and such a beloved show for Colorado audiences.
Yeah, I mean, it's, again, I think what you have to look at it as these two very separate entities, and yet the whole show in its entirety is really about this relationship between these two women and how quickly they come to love each other.
And how different their lives are.
Absolutely.
And then
and yet completely bond. It's just it's so very,
beautiful.
very cool. So to capture all of that, to capture all three of those of those segments, and it's great. It's great to have the opportunity to be simplistic on stage. The set is really subtle, and yet it gives you absolutely everything. Having the band on stage is just it's such a huge asset. They're amazing and great. And and they bring us to life for sure. And so it's just really nice to pull all those pieces in and create this beautiful package.
Yeah, I feel like because it is such a simpler show, and the band's there, you guys get to connect with the audience.
Absolutely.
In a lot more way, because at times it's just like you're singing with Patsy.
Yeah.
It's just, you're there in that bar watching her.
Yeah.
At times it feels like. Do you guys have a favorite part of the show, or favorite aspect of the show?
Act 2 got a little, at first it was hard, and then it got to be the easier one. Act 1 is the one that makes me so nervous.
Me too. Yeah. We often talk about how, especially at the beginning, when we are very much in separate, it's extremely nerve-wracking because you're kind of out there and you're completely isolated, and then when we finally meet towards the end of Act 1, and it's kind of like we both, even though we can't necessarily rely on each other, it's not like we could really help each other out
to settle in.
But at least we're there for each other, and we've got each other's backs, and it's just a cool, unique experience. It just really is. Yeah.
Do you each have a favorite song of Patsy's that you guys get to do, or just a favorite Patsy Cline song in general?
My favorite moment of yours is Closer Walk with Thee.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just so tender and beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mine, I really love the end of Act 1, Lovesick Blues. I love that song. It's been super fun just to bring the house down, for intermission. And then when I sing 3 cigarettes in the ashtray at her table,
that might be
that's a fun moment.
That's so special.
Yeah, true. One of my favorite moments of us together, for sure. It's a great time.
Well, and I like I said, I loved the show top to bottom. The costumes I have to mention as well,
right?
Because those costumes,
Linda
I would go on a diet for those costumes. I really would.
She does. They do a fabulous.
Yes.
Her and Erica
Linda,
do a fabulous job every time.
Yeah, and so many costume changes for you, Patsy.
That's all I do. I sing and I change. That's it. That's my show.
There's a lot more to it.
And I just talk and drink coffee.
So we're not even acting at that point.
No,
We're just hanging out. Well, very cool. Well, thank you both so much for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Wonderful to have you guys. Sure. And be sure to check out Always Patsy Cline at BDT Stage, playing through the end of May. All right, so I have to mention that too. Sometimes we do interviews that can get a little uncomfortable, but it can even be funnier when on purpose it's uncomfortable. So take a look at our new segment, Uncomfortable Questions.
Just stop walking if you can hear us. Do you want to be on TV? He saw me. All right, we'll catch you next time, brother. Can you hear me? You want to be on TV? Yeah, we'll get you next time. Yeah, we'll get you next time. You don't know? Oh, you gotta go. Okay. Yeah, we'll get you next time. That's up. We'll catch you next time. Just stop walking if you can hear me. Do you want to be on TV? That's a nice fade, dude. Do you want to be on TV? Yeah, you want to be on TV? Can you hear me? Stop walking if you can hear me. All right. What's your name?
Danny.
Danny, nice to meet you. I'm Patrick. All right, Danny. This one, these questions are maybe what you're not expecting to hear, but they are what they are. So, do you poop in public restrooms?
I do. It took me a long time to get the courage to do it.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, mostly in the Student Success Building.
Nice. They're clean?
Clean bathrooms, very clean bathrooms, really.
Yes, now I do.
Now. You used to not.
Correct.
Well, how long has it been?
Probably about 6 months since I started pooping in public restrooms.
I have. I have. It got to a point where my stomach was really gassy, and I couldn't hold it till I got home. So, make sure there's nobody in the bathroom. Check all the doors. Gotta be empty first. Yeah.
I have to wait until there's nobody in there, or at least until the dryer comes on, and then I do it.
Is it true that if you don't use it, you lose it?
Yeah, very true.
Can you explain that further?
Yeah, let me rephrase that. So if you're not using it, you're more likely to be losing it.
I mean, I suppose I won't argue that.
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Right. Yeah.
What do you lose?
I think that's true. In my experience, it's always been the case.
I would say no.
You can not use it and still maintain it.
Correct.
Meth or heroin?
The heroin?
You see the commercials, it's normally like meth, right? Like, don't use meth. So, heroin. I'll do heroin.
I'll keep heroin.
I'm gonna say heroin.
Why?
Just the aesthetics of the whole thing, you know, like the that's the one with the spoon. You heat it up, right? Yeah. I've seen it in movies.
It's cooler.
Like that. Yeah. But
meth. Just because I think that the process that goes into making it is kind of interesting, and also you put in the hard work, so reap the reward.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, exactly.
Breaking Bad.
Heroin.
Because it's cooler.
Because it's cooler.
Word.
Meth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
For sure.
On top.
I'm gonna say meth. I feel like I have a better chance of surviving it. Yeah? Yeah.
USA. 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 USA.
USA.
Yeah, we got Ah, yeah. What's up? What's your name?
My name is Graham, like the cracker.
Excellent, Graham. All right. Do you poop in public restrooms?
Only in Target, Walmart, and select Dollar Trees.
That's a very common answer. I'm getting that one a lot. Meth or heroin, man?
C, crack cocaine.
Excellent. C. But that's like close to meth. So I would say, all right. How about this one? How about USA? USA. USA.
USSR. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Our musical guest tonight is an up-and-coming band from the Boulder area. Their music has been described as rock, jam, reggae, and here with me tonight is Corey McCauley and the Hop Jam Brew. Hello, guys. How are you?
Hey.
Good. So your music is such a kind of mixed things, but it's so catchy. So kind of describe your music and kind of where those influences came from.
I'd say that the biggest influence just kind of comes from going to music festivals in the Midwest and kind of them having such an impact on my life. It kind of formed and shaped the music I'm writing currently. And then meeting up with these guys, all of their influences kind of bleed into the music as well.
You all
And
kind
so,
of brought your things and mixed it together.
Exactly.
And you're from Minnesota.
Yep.
Correct. So how did you come out here to Colorado in the first place, and how did you guys all meet and get together?
I moved out here last December, and just kind of life shifted, and I moved out to Colorado. I had a buddy hit me up and said, I'll get you a plane ticket tomorrow. And so literally, I packed what I could fit in one bag and headed out, and didn't even bring my guitar at first. And then after about, I'd say being out here for like 3 months, I met Jordan just kind of through one of the music pages, and we started talking about jamming, and as soon as my guitar got out here, we started playing together. And then we added Zach and Eric on board this year, and things have just kind of really started taking off since we've gotten this built now.
So were you three already here in Colorado, or did you guys come from somewhere else as well?
I came from Minneapolis.
Okay, very cool.
I went to a music school there and then graduated from college there and then moved out here about 6 years ago.
Okay.
And so I'm pretty active pretty active in music on the scene, I guess. So.
Yeah, I'm from Wisconsin originally and moved out here about 5 years ago.
Okay.
To pursue music and just kind of get away. So.
What about you?
California baby myself, but I've been in Colorado for a while.
Yeah.
So
you guys all kind of have those different backgrounds and blending them together.
Right.
Well, very cool. And it's cool you guys all work well together, obviously. Yeah.
Definitely.
Do you guys have any shows coming up here?
Actually, next Wednesday, we're going to be playing at the Vision Quest Brewery in Boulder for the Starwater Collective's night there. And then tomorrow we're playing at, is it Verde?
Yeah, Verde.
On Pearl and 3rd, I think.
Yeah.
It's a dispensary opening.
Dispensary opening, so that'll be kind of fun.
Talk more about your music. What's kind of the style of it? How would you guys describe it?
I'll let you
Feel good reggae and like funky folk. I would say.
Yeah, like it's definitely not just reggae. I like some of the songs that Corey writes are kind of more like rock. So I kind of more call it like reggae rock.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Very cool.
For me, I guess I just kind of write about my life experiences and what I'm going through in the moment, and it just kind of applies to other people's lives as well, you know?
Yeah.
And so if I can come up with something about a life lesson that kind of is catchy, that sticks in your head, it's going to help you through it just like it helped me through it.
Very cool. And my last question for you guys is, what are you guys playing for us tonight?
So we started out with a song called Faith, and you can actually find the music video for that online. And then the second song is a new song of ours called Grounded.
Very cool. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. It was wonderful to meet you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right. Well, stick around, everyone. We will be right back with a lot more fun.
At Metropolitan State University at Denver, our mission is to provide high-quality, accessible education that prepares our students for successful careers, postgraduate education, and lifelong learning in a global and technological society. Our values of diversity, access, and community help us provide opportunities for our students from all over the globe. In fact, we've just been named a diversity champion by Insight into Diversity magazine for 2016. Because at MSU Denver, we believe in transforming lives.
Met Radio on mymetmedia.com.
The Met Report has the latest on volleyball, men's and women's soccer, and so much more. Tune in every Friday at 12:30 on Comcast Channel 58 and Campus Channel 20.
Hi, this is Wellington Webb, former mayor of Denver, Colorado from 1991 to 2003. I was so pleased to receive an honorary doctorate from Metro State University. It's been a great highlight of my life. And I also want to take this opportunity to say happy birthday to you on your 50th anniversary.
It's fine that other people like you. It's more important that you like yourself. And I'm comfortable with every part of me. Meals on Wheels coming to my door as someone who's housebound assures me that I'm not forgotten. They care that I'm okay. My name is Asha Ida Bell. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Since I was young boy, I played the silver ball. From Soho Town to Brighton, I must have played them all. But I ain't seen nothing like him in any amusement hall. That deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball.
Every life deserves a replay, and no one knows that better than Tommy. Watch a legend come to life in The Who's iconic rock musical. Get your tickets to Tommy at denvercenter.org.
Welcome back. My next guest tonight is one of Denver's most talented and most veteran actresses. She has won 3 Henry Awards, including the Lifetime Achievement Award in 2014, and has also been named the True West Theater Person of the Year a couple years ago. So with me tonight is Billie McBride. Hello, Billie. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great that you're here.
Yeah.
It's been we tried to get you on a while ago, but then I messed some things up. I'm so happy you're finally here.
I am too.
Yeah.
I am too.
So I feel like we've could talk about so many things, but just talk about your history performing in the Denver and Colorado theater community, because it's been a long history.
Mm-hmm. It has been. It's been a while. But it did take me at least close to 6 years before anybody hired me for a stage job.
Do you remember when that first job was?
It was 97, I think it was 97 or 98, and it was at Arvada.
Okay.
And it was Bev Newcomb who hired me, and it was a play called Moon Over Buffalo, a farce. But it took forever. I would go to auditions. I could not. There was a great deal of television going on here at the time and film, so fortunately I was able to get some of that, but it took a while.
Do you prefer theater over film and television? Or?
They're so different.
Yeah.
So unbelievably different that I kind of like the challenge of film, where you start right in the middle, where you break down and cry and sob and throw your body, and then you go back to doing the normal stuff. But my love has always been stage.
Oh, cool. So you got your first job at Arvada Center.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the highlights over the years. What have been some of your favorite roles to be in, or things to direct?
Oh, well, many of my favorite roles I've actually gotten to play, things that would be bucket list things. Driving Miss Daisy, Daisy in that, and an incredible play called 4,000 Miles is one of my top ones. Wit was so hard. I understudied it at the Denver Center, and then I went to the Nomad in Boulder and did it there, and it's a very, very difficult piece, but it'll always kind of, I think, remain up there in #1, because I had to shave my head and I had to get naked. So very few women of an age want to do that in front of people.
That's not your typical Saturday night shaving
It's
your head
not
and
one of those, no. Yeah.
No. And now you're directing a Picasso for Cherry Creek Theater Company.
For Cherry Creek Theater Company, yes.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful play, not done very often, written by Jeffrey Hatcher. And it's a two-character play. One of them is Picasso. The other is a woman who is working for the Nazis.
Okay.
And he's arrested and taken to a room to choose which of 3 pictures, drawings are his, that he's really done. And then you find out, he thinks it's for an exhibition, then you find out it's for a burning, and that they're in Paris. And so it's what happens, the beginning, and how he's able to try to save his art. It's really a beautiful play, a word play, language.
Yeah. What's it like working with such a small cast of just 2 people in a very intimate, I would say?
Oh, it's wonderful. I love doing that because you can concentrate on them and their relationship and on helping them search and find who that character is.
And since you're such a gifted actress and have done so many roles, would you say that influences how you direct?
I think it does. In fact, we were talking about that just before we began charades. I think as an actor, I come at each character, male, female, children, whatever, as a performer. My brain immediately begins to go into actor mode. And so I think that's where some of my ideas come from. And then I just get really prepared. I don't want actors to ask me something I can't answer. And if I can't answer it, I want us to be able to discuss it and find the answer ourselves.
I love that. Yeah. And talk more about A Picasso, because I feel like this is a little bit older of a show, set in an older time, but I still feel like it's very relevant.
It's very relevant
today.
right now, yes.
So talk about the importance of doing it now in our current
well, with things, with arts being cut, with schools cutting all of the arts programs, theater programs, music programs, cutting them out, it's leaving us with children who aren't getting the benefit. You can learn all those other things, but what's going to keep your soul healthy?
Yeah.
And that, to me, is the most important thing about doing a play like this, because it questions. It questions, is art important? If the world blows up, or if everything goes crazy, if the Nazis won and the entire world became under Nazi control, would art matter? And he asks all those questions. So right now, this is a very important play to take a look at.
Very cool. And my last question for you, because we're running out of time. We have a lot of young, up-and-coming actors and actresses who watch the show, around the area. So as a living legend yourself, what advice would you give them? Is there something you would say to kind of that up-and-coming generation of actors and actresses?
Well, you have to make sure this is really, really what you want to do, because it's not easy. And it is something that you can't say, well, if you can't get tired after 6 months. Yeah. I tell actors who go to New York from here, don't come home for a year. Give it every ounce of time you can. Yeah. But they all want to come home to this beautiful state. So, but that is it. Make sure it's really what you want.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Billie. We love having you.
Thank you for asking me.
Yeah, of course. And be sure to check out A Picasso, playing April 5th through the 29th at Cherry Creek Theater Company. And when we come back, we'll hear a little bit from Corey McCauley and the Hop Jam Brew. Stick around.
Memory lane. Sometimes all good, others filled with pain. Use it as food that fuels my flame. When heart has gone, only passion remains. Sometimes I just sit and cry, holding too hard in the emotional binds. So hard to just let go. Admit to myself that I have no control. 'Cause all that I have is a faith that drives this body with a beating heart and a conscious mind. Let it go and trust my faith. It'll all be okay at the end of the day. All that I have is a faith that drives this body with a beating heart and a conscious mind. Let it go and trust my faith. It'll all be okay at the end of the day. Let it go and trust my faith. It'll all be okay at the end of the day. Sun comes up and I open my eyes. I count my blessings as I watch the sky. Sit back and I realize that I'm just sitting here wasting my time. Time to go, time to face my fears. Chase my dreams for the rest of my years. Feet to the pavement, we got to chase it. We got to take it, we got to break. All that I have is a faith that drives this body with a beating heart and a conscious mind. Let it go and trust my faith. It'll all be okay at the end of the day. All that I have is a faith that drives this body with a beating heart and a conscious mind. Let it go and trust my faith. It'll all be okay at the end of the day. To find your heart, you've got to lose your mind. To find your heart, you've got to lose your mind. To find your heart, you've got to lose your mind. To find your heart, you've got to lose your mind. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Om Namo. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Shiva Om Namo. Shiva Om Namo. All that I have is a faith that drives. All that I have is a faith that drives. All that I have is a faith that drives. All that I have is a faith that drives. All that I have is a faith that drives this body with a beating heart and a conscious mind. Let it go and trust my faith. It'll all be okay at the end of the day. All that I have is a faith that drives this body with a beating heart and a conscious mind. Let it go and trust my faith. It'll all be okay at the end of the day.
My next guest is a woman who is truly something special. She has won 2 Henry Awards and is a regular actress in theater such as The Edge and Vintage Theater. She is now making her Arvada Center debut in their Black Box season, so please welcome Emma Messanger.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. I was telling you, you're on my couch now.
Yes.
Because for the Christmas special, we went to your couch.
That's right.
Yeah, thank you again for filming that little
I said
open
all I
for us.
need is a couple of dogs and a glass of wine. I'd feel much
Right
better,
at
Avery.
home.
I'm a little disappointed.
I'm so sorry. You know, I can only do so much. So much. But you're making your debut at Arvada Center this
Yes,
season.
I am.
What's it like to get to work at the Arvada Center?
It's delicious. It's an absolutely gorgeous experience. I think because you are, as an actor, you are so supported from every aspect. You know, I'm used to working at a little theater where maybe, you know, you have to do your own costumes,
Right.
and here, oh my goodness, I have a lady who just comes in and puts my wig on my head. And make sure it stays on. I mean, you are so spoiled.
Yeah.
And just the level of professionalism from the ground up
Yeah.
it's just you just revel in it. It's lovely.
And I think it shows. I saw, you're starring in All My Sons. You're in all, and Sense and Sensibility. They're two you're in. But All My Sons, you're starring and leading that one. And it was just such an amazing show.
Thank you,
It was,
Avery.
really.
It's an absolute joy.
It is, yeah. So talk more about, it's a Arthur Miller piece, All My Sons. It's a little bit older piece, but I would
It
say
is. It's 70 years old, but it seems to have such relevance
Totally agree.
To what's going on in the world today. And it's a story of an American family, but it deals with the hollowness of the American dream if you cut yourself off from the rest of the world, that we have a responsibility to others.
Yep.
And this family has just, we think of their backyard is just shrinking every day, and they are really imprisoned by the fact that they're unable to face some harsh truths about their past. So they're not really living in the real world at all.
And your character, Kate Keller,
Yes.
I think it's so funny that you play these roles because you're one of the nicest people I've ever met. And then you play these roles and it's just like, oh my goodness, like, these characters, you do really have some bark to them.
Yes.
For sure.
Well, so do I in
Yeah,
real
yes,
life,
you do.
too.
No, I'm not.
Just ask my children. They will, it's Lady Macbeth at home. No. Yes, I think I often find myself playing mothers. All my life I have played mothers. And it's the sort of character that there is somebody in her life that is more important than herself. And that leads to some very interesting choices that you have to make as a parent, but especially I think this sort of mother figure. It's so archetypal, and everybody has one.
Yeah.
So, or we don't have one, and that brings up other questions. But it's like a huge figure in every person's life.
I agree.
So I love playing mothers because there's such depth. You can always find
Yeah, and I think you can tell through your performances you're able to find that depth and find.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And over the years of performing at the Edge and Vintage Theater and other local theaters, would you say that's prepared you for the Arvada Center now?
Oh, absolutely. I have been gifted with some of the most gorgeous roles an actress could ever ask for, both from Rick Yaconis at the Edge, who would ask me what I wanted to do, and it was just lovely, and my experiences at Vintage as well, just really rich, wonderful characters. I could retire tomorrow and think, well, that's been great, I hope I don't have to.
I hope you don't retire tomorrow. I'd be a very sad person if that happens.
But it's been just a buffet of roles to just feast on.
Just to dig into.
Yeah, absolutely.
wow.
I've been very, very fortunate.
Yeah. Well, and I would say the theater community has been very fortunate to have
well,
you. No, I'm serious. I wanted to ask this question because where did you come from before coming here? Because I know you went to Texas A&M.
Well, yes, actually, I'm from England
originally,
so I'm still a British citizen. My parents are obviously British, and we moved to Texas when I was 5.
Okay.
So I grew up in Texas, which is very interesting sort of hybrid cultures.
Yeah. From
yes.
England to Texas.
Right. And then I spent the last, before coming to Denver, 20 years in Southern California, which was wonderful. Gorgeous place to live. And my husband got a job offer here, and it all just sort of fell into place. And we have not looked back. And I sort of thought, coming to Denver, I would probably not do much acting anymore. But it's the complete opposite. This is one of the richest places to work and just explore incredible opportunities here in theater. And I have just loved it.
Well, I've loved watching.
Well, you're very kind. It's just a very welcoming community, for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're running out of time, but I would regret my whole life decision if I didn't get to ask you this question. You, coming up in the fall, are doing Cake.
Yes, I am.
At Curious Theater
Yes,
Company.
I am.
And that, what a fantastic show and a fantastic role.
Goodness, I cannot wait.
Yeah.
Yes, it will be my first chance to work at Curious, which is like, oh, that's just gorgeous of itself. And this play is beautiful, and talk about just an incredible role.
Yeah.
So.
Well, very cool. I can't wait to see you in that.
Okay, I have to hear what you think.
Well, and if anyone else has not seen All My Sons, be sure to get there. The whole entire Arvada rep season runs through about the beginning, middle of May, so be sure to check it all out. And be sure to stick around, because when we come back, all of us are going to play a little round of charades. Should be pretty interesting. All right, we'll be right back.
Just because you're neighbors doesn't mean you have to be neighborly. Two couples are ready to get their hands dirty and stake their claim on what is rightfully theirs, even if they have to nip their blooming friendship in the bud to do it. Dealing with next-door nonsense has never been more heartfelt and witty than in Native Gardens, a bright and clever comedy. See it from April 6th to May 6th at the Denver Center, and get your tickets at denvercenter.org.
Biker Jim's brother.
Discover a whole new world at Aladdin, the hit Broadway musical. USA Today calls it pure genius. It delivers a rush that will surprise you. The New York Times calls it fabulous and extravagant. And exactly what you wished for. Aladdin.
Plays the Buell Theater April 7th through the 28th. Tickets at denvercenter.org or call 303-893-4100.
Welcome back. So tonight we're going to play a classic and maybe simple game of charades. So this is traditional charades in that there will be two teams, us three and then those three, and we're going to get up there and act it out.
Yeah.
So each person will pull a suggestion from the hat, walk up there, act it out, and if we guess it, we win. So remember, no talking during charades, just motions, all right? Allie, I think you volunteered to go first. We volunteered Allie to go first. So go ahead and pick a suggestion and head on up there. Ready, Emma?
I'm not allowed to guess, right?
No, she's on our team. We're guessing.
You're guessing, and we're just silently judging?
Oh, every
This
kid
is
over
our
here.
turn.
Every kid over here.
Okay. We're guessing right now.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
All right. I wish I put my glasses on.
Book. It's a book. It's a movie.
It's a book and a movie.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing so good.
It's a lion.
It's Jurassic Park. Oh.
It's a lion.
A lion. A lion.
A witch.
Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Hey.
Woo! Great.
All right, 1 point for us. Who are you guys going to send up?
Oh,
Jeff.
Okay, I guess it's me.
We don't guess.
Okay.
guess.
Could we like guess
Shake
wrong
it up.
things to just throw them
Oh,
off?
gosh.
Okay.
We can guess wrong.
Okay.
All right, we got it.
Okay.
Tag team.
You ready?
Movie.
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yes!
Oh my God.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Yeah.
That's not fair.
Do we get extra points for time?
Emma, you want to go?
Isn't it 4 minutes over?
That's been like 2.
Okay, I don't read this out loud,
No,
right?
you don't tell us.
Okay.
Don't tell us what it is, Emma.
All right, I'm going to come over here.
You ready?
Secretly love this game.
I know, this is
Well,
fantastic.
you were right, Avery. These are tough.
This is really a hard one.
We got you. We got you.
All right.
No worries.
Movie.
You're a ghost. Ghost. Great. Ghost. Mad.
Angry ghost?
Stomp on something.
Poltergeist?
Oh, stomp on something. Kill a ghost. Killing a.
Break?
Rip. Break. Ghostbusters.
He knows. Yes! Oh!
That was good. Excellent.
You're right, Busters.
Yeah, that was good one. All right, Norrell, Billy.
I'll do it.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, farts. Okay.
You got this.
We got you. Play?
TV?
TV. Oh,
TV
movie?
and
Oh, chained?
prison.
Locked?
Pri-
Prisoners?
fugitive. Being locked up. Found and gagged.
It's
Always Patsy Cline.
It's the 50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades.
Bound, walk bound, perp walk. All chained up.
Handcuffs.
Handcuffs.
Bars, behind bars.
Prison. Sorry.
I think that's time. We should put our
What was it?
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development.
That was
Avery cut me off. Arrested Development.
That
The next thing.
All right, so the score's 2-1. Should we call it a game?
Sure, that's fine.
Avery, I think you should take a turn.
I think that's
Oh, yes,
fair.
Come on, Avery.
All right.
Yes, we're gonna get this. We got this. Okay.
Okay, ready?
It's a song.
Singing.
It's an opera.
It's a musical.
It's a song.
It's a musical.
There we go.
Billy, you're on our team for this one.
Oh,
It's Fiddler on the Roof.
Hat.
Les
It's a
Miserables.
hat.
It's witches. Oh, it's Cats.
Oklahoma.
Witches. The Wicked Witch. What's that one about
Wizard of
Dorothy?
Oz.
Wicked.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Wicked.
Thank you.
Yay.
All right, Billy, do you want to try?
Bring it home, Billy.
Thank you for Wicked. The one about the Wicked Witch. So you
I
get that.
had one of the words. I'm not good at musicals. I don't sing.
Okay.
Okay. It's a movie.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Book
sorry.
and a book.
A movie and a book.
And a small
And
child.
it's small. It's a little book.
It's
Little.
A novella.
It's for children.
It's children.
Oh, sorry.
2 words.
2 words.
Okay.
It's about
Circle.
It's about
Yeah.
a
the circle
writer.
of life.
Black Beauty.
Cowboy,
Black Beauty.
Black Beauty.
Oh,
my gosh,
That's amazing.
Amazing.
That's only fair since you had that Arrested Development.
I think people have been cheating over there.
wow.
All right,
Nice.
well, the score is 3-2, but Black Beauty, I feel like, should be worth a couple extra points.
Yay!
So we'll just call it a tie.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
All right, well, congrats to everyone for winning. I feel like we can all be winners. And why does everyone else stick around so you can continue watching the show? We'll be right back.
Some people call us vandals. They want to lock us up and erase us from the streets we walk. But we are artists, and all we want is to be heard. We are making our mark, and this is modern art. Get your tickets at denvercenter.org.
Juan Arellano, and this is the Templo Futbolero.
Y en esta edición la tenemos en 65 ocasiones, El Colorado, Guadalajara, Denver, Denver Stage. And this is El Templo Futbolero.
Ballerina.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
Thanks for joining us on the Met Report.
Bienvenidos a su noticiero TV Met.
Thanks for joining me here on Student Corner.
It's the Nightly Met.
And welcome to MSU Denver Lab.
Welcome to Remote Denver. My name is Heather. I sound a bit artificial. Sorry, I am not human, but I will try to be your friend. And together we will move through some unseen parts of Denver. From the outside, we are a group, appearing and disappearing. On the inside, we are 50 individuals, creating a secret view of Denver. Do you trust me? Are you ready? Let's go.
Biker Jim's, brother.
Discover a whole new world at Aladdin, the hit Broadway musical. USA Today calls it pure genius. It delivers a rush that will surprise you. The New York Times calls it fabulous and extravagant. And exactly what you wished for. Aladdin.
Plays the Buell Theater April 7th through the 28th. Tickets at denvercenter.org or call 303-893-4100.
My final guest tonight is a professor here at MSU Denver, and in all honesty, I didn't want him on the show, but if it gets me a better grade, then I thought, why not do it? Just joking, Jeff Parker is a professor, but he's also a local actor who is about to be starring in Performances Now production of The Producers. Hello, Jeff. How are you?
Hey, Avery. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, you get an A+.
Perfect. Even though I don't even have you for a class.
For everything.
For everything.
I'll make some calls.
If that's all it took, I would have had you on air a long time ago.
That's what they all say.
Well, perfect. Let's just start with The Producers.
Yeah.
So talk about that a little bit. It's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up at the Lakewood Cultural Center through Performance Now. It is the funniest, silliest, most hilarious, offensive piece I've worked on in a very long time. Yeah. We've got a killer cast, a great production team, and of course the Lakewood space is beautiful. Exactly. So we're having a fantastic time. Yeah. It really doesn't feel like work.
That's the best kind of work, when it doesn't feel like
absolutely. When you're like, oh, we've just kind of tap danced as Nazis for 6 hours and we feel great about ourselves.
Yeah.
Which you can really only say in a couple of circumstances.
Yeah. And is this your first time with the producers?
It is. It's my first time doing the producers. I did some dialect coaching for a production years and years ago. But no, I've never performed in it.
Okay.
And my first time with Performance Now.
Oh, very cool.
So it's very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful space up there.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
And it's a huge stage, I feel like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's giant.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a lot of people, so it works.
Well, that's even better. Talk about, so, I mean, you did performing for many years, and now that you're a professor, what is it like performing locally and being a professor at the same time?
It's a great honor. I think it's really important. Anyone who is teaching a craft, especially a skill-based craft, still keeps their toes in the water, so to speak. So I try to get up there on stage about once a year. That's about all I tend to have time for. I do get a bit more time with dialect and vocal coaching, but it's a great honor. I remember when I was 13 or 14, I knew I wanted to teach and perform, and I didn't quite know the ratio.
Okay.
But I started teaching college when I was 28 and quickly found that if you don't mind the low pay and the long hours, it's the best job in the entire world.
Wonderful.
And so I get to perform usually in the summers, and then gigs like Performance Now or the Aurora Fox come up, and it's a delight.
Cool.
Plus, there's so much talent in the community, and it's so great to get to know them. And Metro kids or alumni get booked in there, so it's fun to work with them too.
And what's it like getting to work with all these Metro kids and then see them working eventually? I feel like it would be a sense of pride of like, I taught them.
Yeah, absolutely right. I mean, I'm a proud dad. It's fantastic. Some of the Metro alums and producers I didn't get to work with, because I've only been here 4 years.
Yeah.
But one is a recent graduate, Kelsey Covert, and every day in rehearsal it's like, oh, look at you all grown up.
All grown up now.
Tap dancing. Yeah, so it's a fantastic honor.
Wonderful. And I feel like you really make a connection with the students here.
I try to. I feel it's an important part of the job. Just like when you work with a theater ensemble in the professional world, the communion between the actors and the company is so vital to trust and process and performance. I feel that here, that kind of personal attention is one of the things MSU Denver Theater does best.
Yeah, I agree. And I just heard you took a group to see Tony Kushner.
I did. We went to go see Tony Kushner.
I won't complain that I wasn't invited, but it's a fun. But just talk about seeing Tony Kushner.
I just assumed you were busy.
No.
Yeah.
But talk about seeing Tony Kushner and taking these students.
It was beautiful. The man's mind is crystalline. He was able to speak in these multifaceted, beautifully, rhetorically structured phrases that just made you at the same time go, of course, what a simple way to put that, and how could any human being possibly think of that? He spoke not only about the current political climate, but about what theater means to society, and he tied in Shakespeare and the Greeks and his own pieces, which he was very humble about. And someone would ask a question and he'd go on for 20 minutes in a monologue, so we only got 3 or 4 questions.
That's what I heard. Like, everyone's like, he talked for such a long time.
But every word was brilliant, so we loved every minute of it. It was.
And what was it like getting to see those students, like, kind of hear him in person for the
Oh, it was great. I mean, jaws were just dropping left and right. You could hear the temporomandibular joints just sliding out of their sockets. And
can you say that word again one more time?
Temporomandibular joint.
Wonderful. Words with Jeff Parker.
Yeah. But yeah, things would just fall. I mean, they were just, and they'd look around at each other. Yeah. Sometimes it was, did he just say that? But lots of, I never thought of it that way. And it was such a brilliant, powerful experience.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me.
But I'm so excited for the producers. It's going to be a fun show. So be sure to check out the producers at Performance Now. And for one final time, please welcome Corey McCauley and the Hop Jam Brew.
Lately, I've been feeling so disconnected. Oh, Lost at sea with a bag full of dreams, and my faith is being tested. Cause I have found it, but your soul's to the ground, no longer feeling so restless. The chop by my side, I'll go along for this ride and I'll get grounded. Need to get grounded, tap back into the earth. Grounded, place of our birth. Grounded, grounded, oh. Grounded, grounded. Wasted so much freaking time, just floating around, feet can't touch the ground, but I swear that I'm doing fine. But if ego's trick, I fell for that, longer feeling alright. We'll chop by my side, I'll go along for this ride and I'll get grounded. Need to get grounded, tap back into the earth. Grounded, the place of our birth. Grounded, grounded. Grounded, grounded. Lately, I've been feeling so reconnected. Whoa, no longer lost at sea. Still got a bag full of dreams, and my faith ain't being tested. Cause I have found it, but your soul's to the ground, no longer feeling so restless. Which I by my side, I'll go along for this ride and I'll get grounded. Need to get grounded, tap back into the earth. Grounded, place of our birth. Grounded, grounded, ooh. Grounded, grounded, boo. Chop by my side, I'll go along for this fight and I'll get grounded.